Hey guys, Ronnie here with Alien Investigations, the show that investigates UFOs, alien phenomenon, and strange findings around the world and in space. And today we're going to talk about Mars and the Moon. In case number 1, a strange object was located that looks like it may have crashed in the crater on Mars and may have slid for several miles, or it could be that it just landed there and that is the back end of the ship, but we'll take a closer look. In case number 2, we'll talk about the Apollo 20 mission that NASA still leads the public to believe that never took place. However, NASA states that Apollo 17 was the last mission, claiming that their budget currently was not capable of funding such an exploit. But is the truth that they did the Apollo missions 18 through 20 as covertly as possible? We'll take a closer look at some amazing claims and footage later in the show about all of this. So first off, my good friend Wide Awake sent me the coordinates to the strange object on Mars. Wide Awake doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he is on Twitter. And if you'd like to follow him as well, his Twitter is at WakeUpNow2017. He's a great friend of mine, and he also does investigations into this type of stuff. So let's head over to Google Earth right now and have a look at what he found. Okay, here we are in Google Earth, so let's go ahead and switch to Google Mars. And I pasted in the coordinates here. That's also in the description, so you can check this out for yourself. And let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so here is the structure or object in question. And there is no high definition maps of this particular area, so as you can see, it's like right in between two high definition maps on each side. So maybe they are trying to hide something here. I'm not sure. This could be a natural object. Who knows? But what I want to do is take a look at it and see what you guys think. It seems some kind of definition roundness here that seems a little bit too, I don't know, too perfect, I would say, for something that would be natural. And what Wide Awake was basically saying is that maybe something crashed here and it skid. This is the actual object and this is a skid mark here. And you can see how maybe it drug through the Martian surface here. So I'm going to grab the ruler right quick and let's get an idea of how big this thing is. So basically the object, I'm calling this the object. Now again, like I said earlier, this could be the back end of the actual ship and maybe it just landed here or whatever. I don't know. Maybe this is a natural formation. I'll let you guys be the judge of what you think. To me, it looks like something dug into the Martian terrain here. And some of you might be saying, well, it looks the same color as the terrain around it. Well, of course, if this thing's been here for millions of years, the dust and debris and everything's going to cover this object, if it is an actual object. And, you know, it's going to look like the terrain. So let's go ahead and measure how wide this thing is. So I'm going to go ahead and use feet here. Okay, let's see. This thing's probably huge, so let's go to miles. Okay, so it's like 2 miles wide. Let's try the length here. So about, I'd say about 2 miles wide and in length. Now, if this is the back end of the vessel or ship, check that out. It's about 7 miles. So that's a pretty big object here. So like I said, I don't know personally what this is. Like I said, there's no high definition maps available for this area, at least not that I've seen. But it does look like something strange, something not of a natural terrain because of the roundness here. It's like almost a perfect sphere right here, like a small sphere. And then something protruding out of it, maybe the engine or however this craft was designed or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys, about this structure or object here. What do you think it is? Whatever it is, it does look to me unnatural and kind of strange in this environment. Let me know in the comments, guys, on what you think this could be. Do you think this is a natural formation? Do you think this could be extraterrestrial in nature? Let me hear your thoughts on this below. Okay, so let's move on to case number 2 and all about the Apollo 20 mission. Now, before we begin, you need to know that there are two sides to this story. One side saying that this really happened, and the other side saying that it was all a hoax. So we're going to explore a bit about both sides and let you be the judge. Now, first of all, this is not a new story. The story broke back in 2007 when several videos, apparently taken by NASA, emerged showing a city on the moon and a close-up of an alien cigar-shaped vessel near the Deepwater crater. But since we haven't touched on this yet on this channel, I wanted to cover this for the ones that haven't heard about this yet. And I'll leave the link to the entire article about all of this on Scott Waring's site, UFOsightingsdaily.com. Now, Scott stopped posting new articles as of May 2017. He said that everything seemed different now, due to the fact that the topic has taken a turn as entertainment. He said this is serious stuff that has depths that even he can't fathom, and it deserves some serious thought and research, not contempt and ridicule. And I don't blame the guy. I feel the same way about this stuff. Okay, so let's start from the top. So NASA states that they never did any missions to the moon after Apollo 17 due to lack of funds. Hello, can anyone say Black Project funded? Come on, this is why everyone knows NASA stands for never a straight answer. And this is why there are two sides of NASA, a side that the public domain sees and hears about, and then there's the dark side, where all these special black projects are funded from your tax-paying dollars that you know nothing about. Don't believe me? Listen to this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Inspector Coleman, you're the Inspector General for the Federal Reserve, right? Okay.
That's correct.
Right, but you're the Inspector General. My question to you specifically is, do you know who received that $1 trillion plus that the Fed extended and put on its balance sheet since last September? Do you know the identity of the recipients?
I do not know. We have not looked at that specific area at this particular point on those reviews.
Do your own research on black budgets so you can find out all the details for yourselves. Now, back to the story at hand here. So basically, this information comes from a guy named William Rutledge. He is a 78-year-old man currently living in Rwanda. He claims to be an astronaut that traveled to the moon on a mission called Apollo 20, which was the moon mission where they went inside two ships found there to harvest all of the technology that they could find. Rutledge also stated that he was not hired by NASA, but actually by the USAF, United States Air Force. It was also noted that Apollo 14 mission took photographs as they flew over the polar region of the dark side of the moon, recording numerous ships, odd-shaped buildings, and ancient towering cities, mostly appearing abandoned for millions of years. Investigations state that Apollo 14 through 17 indeed shows that all Apollo missions flew over that polar region of the dark side of the moon, with each of those missions landing within a few hundred miles of each other, indicating that something about that area was of high scientific value. The main mission was to explore a mothership long since abandoned but discovered in Apollo 14 photographs. The mission took place near Deepwater crater, where you can plainly see a massive cigar-shaped object in these NASA photos. You're seeing a picture of it here, and the link is in the description below as well. This craft was reported to be around 3,370 meters across, or 11,056 feet in size. If you're wondering how big that is compared to things here on Earth, here's a picture that I found from ramistrip.com depicting the size and scale of this thing. As you can see, Queen Mary II ship is 345 meters, and the Eiffel Tower is 324 meters. And you can see how this thing dwarfs them both with ease. To make this story even more credible, UK hacker Gary McKinley also discovered this info when he hacked into the US computers. He saw US Marines stationed off-world, names, ranks, ship names, their jobs, and purpose. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Rutledge states they entered two ships, the cigar-shaped mothership and the other triangular-shaped ship. Most of the mission fell on exploring the mothership, he said, which NASA believed crossed the universe at least 1.5 billion years ago. He said they witnessed many signs of biological life forms inside, like old remains of unusual plants in the section that apparently contained the engine for the craft. Another biological species came in the shape of triangular rocks that emitted droplets of a yellow liquid that had medical properties, and even extrasolar creatures. He also said that they found tiny creatures that were living in a complex network of glass tubes all along the interior of the ship. And the most startling of all of the discoveries was when they came upon two human-like bodies, one of which was totally intact even after over 1 billion years on the ship. The one intact extraterrestrial biological entity was female, and they named her Mona Lisa. She was estimated to be about 5 foot tall and was naked. She had genitals, hair, and 6 fingers, and they thought that they could possibly mean that their mathematics may have been based on a dozen. It was apparent that her function was to be a pilot. She had piloted devices attached to her fingers and eyes, yet had on no clothes. She had 2 thin cables that ran into her nose area, but noted that she had no nostrils. They undid the devices over her eyes and other parts of the body, causing secretions of bioliquid to shoot out and freeze from the mouth, nose, eyes, and other parts of the body. They noted that parts of the body seemed in unusually good condition for its age. They relayed to Mission Control, condition seemed not dead, not alive. A thin transparent coating protected her hair and skin. They stated that they didn't have a medical background, so they made a simple test. They decided to take off their bio-equipment and attach it to the extraterrestrial biological entity so that it could send the telemetry back to Mission Control medical experts. Rutledge states that she is now back on Earth and she is not dead, but they wanted to post other videos of her before talking further about her. They also found a second body, but it appeared to be destroyed. They took the head on board. The color of its skin was a pastel blue or blue-gray. The skin had a bit of unusual inscription over the eyes and forehead. There was a strap without inscription around the head. The cockpit of the cigar-shaped mothership was full of calligraphy and was made by lengthy hexagonal tubes. The actual age of the spacecraft was 1.5 billion years old, which was confirmed during exploration. The density of the meteor impacts on the ship and the Monaco Hill on the west of the ship validated the age, Rutledge said. The city they found was long since abandoned and turned to worthless piles of scrap, except one taller, larger building they called the Cathedral. There were writing or calligraphy deeply pressed into every piece of metal, and it was thought that the ship and the city were of similar age. Rutledge also said that he finds it bizarre that no one ever asked him, why is it necessary to hide UFOs? He says it's a question of economics. All the currency on Earth are based on the value of gold, he states. And most people don't know that gold is an extraterrestrial metal that is created when a star dies. When a star dies, its mass grows greatly, atoms get compressed, and then the star explodes. Large amounts of gold get spread across young solar systems. That's why gold is a carbon-free metal. This means that it is the most common substance in the universe. And in fact, there are several of these patches of gold-color mineral that shows up in videos. Now, according to Wikipedia, or whoever put together this Wikipedia page, states that this is all a hoax. And I'll let you guys be the judge. I'll link the Wikipedia page in the description for you to check out as well. But I also found this interesting picture doing some more investigation work, which shows how the video of the city on the moon was put together. So I'll just read this caption here. It says, "The moon city has been added in the background by Photoshop to a NASA original photo. The city design comes from Bruce Pennington's illustration book, Eschontus Nostradamus Prophecies of Our Future, available on Amazon. And this is why I love research and investigative work. And that's the purpose of this channel. I mean, to find out if a story is real or not. We want to try to distinguish the truth so you, as the viewer, will have a better idea of what is false or real info. Now, just because this particular video was put together doesn't mean that there aren't actual structures on the moon. In fact, we now know that there are many ancient structures that are found on the dark side of the moon. Because on 2 occasions, 2 different people got to see the actual unedited photos from the NASA archives of the original pictures from the lunar missions. Sergeant Carl Wolf was one of them. He was asked to fix some photographic equipment on the base at the first Lunar Orbiter program, so his security clearance was raised due to him being the only person at the time being able to fix such equipment. As he was in the lab, an airman came up to him saying, "We discovered a base on the backside of the moon." Wolf was stunned, of course, as the airman showed Wolf some photographs that clearly showed geometric shapes, well-organized and well-designed structures on the moon. It was also reported in March of 1996, scientists and engineers who took part in the Moon and Mars exploration met in front of the Washington National Press Club to discuss their findings. They announced that numerous man-made structures and objects were discovered on the lunar surface. They also stated that there was a massive evidence of abandoned cities, and they observed ruins of the lunar cities, transparent pyramids, and domes. So I'm leaving this up to you guys to make up your own decision on this one. Do your due diligence on more research if you like, and let us know what you find out, and we'll be happy to share it on the channel. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to share it with others. And if you're not subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe on your way out. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can be notified when new videos come out, so you can stay up to date with the latest news and things that happen around the world and in space. You can find our contact info in the description below, so don't be shy to send us your own personal UFO or alien-related sightings that you'd like us to share with others around the world. And remember guys, keep looking to the skies and have your phones and cameras ready, because you never know when you'll see something strange or unexplainable. I'll see you right back here every Wednesday with fresh new episodes of Alien Investigations.